uh, third and fourth verse. Okay, seventh canto, chapter 14, text third and fourth. Purport first part, first paragraph and second paragraph. Yesterday we did. Third paragraph today we are going to start. The human form of life is meant for liberation. Sri Gopal is writing that. I hope you have all got the same line which I read. The human form of life is meant for liberation. But unfortunately, due to the influence of Kali Yuga, every day the Grihasthas are working hard like asses. Early in the morning, they rise and travel even 100 miles away. So day, every day early in the morning, they rise and travel even 100 miles away to earn bread. Especially in the Western countries, I have seen that people awaken at 5 o'clock to go to offices and factories to earn their livelihood. People in Calcutta and Bombay also do this every day. They work very hard in the office or factory, and again they spend 3 or 4 hours in transportation returning home. It's quite now it is happening in India, many places also, Bangalore and other places. So much time it goes in traveling, right? They are driving or metro or local train, whatever it is. It takes at least 2 to 3 hours going to office and 2 to 3 hours coming back from office. So much time. So they come home, then they retire at 10 o'clock and again rise early in the morning to go to their office and factories. So this kind of hard labor is described in the Shastras as the life of pigs and students. Nayam deho deha bhajam nirloke kastan. Kaman arate with bhujam ye. Of all living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stone. Okay, this is from Rishabh Dev teachings. One must find some time for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. One must find some time. Okay, so I will let you know that you may remember. I mean, last Sunday we had a special class for dealing with our financial things so that they does not becomes a big obstacle in our bhakti. So we had a session for that. So soon, maybe this Sunday or next Sunday, there will be a session from another devotee who will tell us how we can integrate these devotional activities in our busy schedule. Like here, Prabhupada is talking about busy schedule. So in that busy schedule, how we can mix our devotional service. Like if you have a glass of milk, full top, you know, cup full it is. You cannot add any more, even not a single drop of milk you can add. If you add, it will come out. So that is our life. Fully busy, no time for any. But still, you are saying that we have to do chanting, reading, that sort of thing. So what do we have to do? So, but if you add some sugar in that, it will the sugar will mix in the milk and it won't come out also. And what will happen? Milk will become sweet. The same way, our life is fully busy. We don't have any time. But if we include Krishna in our life, then nothing is going to out. Nothing will disturb. But only thing, the result will come that our life will become sweet like the milk. So I'm talking to that Prabhu. He will maybe this Sunday or next Sunday. He will tell us these kind of tricks. Okay. Like Prabhupada is saying, one must find some time for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. How to find that some time? Okay, so that we can see. Even I can, we can have discussion, but I'm just arranging another session, so especially we will talk about that. Okay, so this is a Vedic culture that every day we should hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad. That's why Prabhupada made a system that every day morning in temple Srimad Bhagavatam and evening Bhagavad. One should work 8 hours at the most to earn his livelihood. Okay, I think we have discussed this 8 earlier. Prabhupada is saying one must work 8 hours at the most 8 hours to learn his livelihood. And either in the afternoon or in the evening, a householder should associate with devotees to hear about the incarnation of Krishna, Avatar Katha, okay, Bhagavad Avatar Katha, okay? And his activities, okay, Leelas, and thus be gradually liberated from the clutches of mind. So if they hear every day, whether in afternoon, evening, somewhere they should find some time to associate with the devotees, okay, and hear about Krishna and his pastime and his incarnation. If they do that, then what will happen? Gradually liberated from the clutches of Maya. However, instead of finding time to hear about Krishna, the householders, after working hard in offices and factories, find time to go to a restaurant or a club where, instead of hearing about Krishna and his activities, they are very much pleased to hear about the political activities of demons and non-devotees, and to enjoy sex, wine, women, and meat. And in this way, waste their time. So it is not like, see, Prabhupada knows everything. So even I am able to remember when I was working in Technopark, that's what people were doing. They will work full day and night they will go to some pub or some restaurant, some bar, and they will have some meat, some this kind of activities, some watch some movies and all like that, and they will come fully and then they sleep directly, and morning they get up and they have only one goal: office. That's it. This is a life, but they feel this is, some people like it in due to ignorance, and some are, they don't like but they are caught into it. What to do? They're saying, anyway, we cannot do much thing, right? But you think, is this a life? It's getting morning and whole day we are working for food. That's why it is, I mean, uh, of course there are responsibilities which has to be taken care, but not like that. And if we see, many times we are not able to um, draw a line between need and greed. So that's what the complications arise. If we know what are our need, what are our greed, we need to work for need, not for the greed. Because need can be fulfilled, greed can never be fulfilled. Okay, needs are definitely will be fulfilled by Krishna, because Krishna has given for everyone whatever they need. You know, that Ishopanishad says, Isha Vashamedam Sarvam. Right? For everything, for everyone, their quota is fixed, their need is fixed, and everything is available. Before sending one person in this life, Krishna has arranged all his need. So one should not be worrying too much. So need will be full. But greed, because greed has no limit, it will go on, go on, go on. So greed is very, very difficult to complete. So that is why many people want to work, because of their greed, because of their they want to show to the world, and they have some envy feeling with someone, they want to show to him. And even nowadays some men and women, they are working just to show off their partner. Like husband is working that I will earn more than my wife. wife is working, that I will show you that I am more capable than you. This kind of thing will be a dangerous situation for our bhakti. So this is happening inside the family now. Earlier it used to happen only in like neighbors or colleagues, but now it is happening in the family itself. Even the now children are doing, I will show more marks than my another sibling or like that. You know. So this way we are not working for our need, but we are working for our greed, our ego, and all those things. So we will not have time. Otherwise, what do you need? You just have your simple life, then it's fine. But if you want to have complicated life, luxurious life, so-called luxurious, you see, now if you see, there are lockdown situation is there. Okay, so now only essential things are available, right? All those things which are generally which are very costly, and for those things only we work very hard, those things are all closed. So we can easily understand what is essential, what is our need, and what is our need, right? Many see, we can easily get some simple vegetables from our local, right? But we have to go to a big shopping mall, and we have to do that glamour and all. I don't know now, but few years back in India, it was a prestigious thing that if a family purchases their grocery and other daily needs from a shopping mall, then it is a kind of prestige in the society. That they are purchasing from such mall, we are purchasing from local shop, like that. So this kind of everybody wanted to go to mall. So this is very different situation. So for normal, you can have like dresses, simple dresses, which are not very costly. Some normal dress if you have, because generally it is not the cloth which is being charged; it is the fashion, right? So simple dressing, if like if somebody have suppose 7 days, maximum 7 days, we want to put seven different dresses. You have seven, three extra, you have 10 at least. You can have even 15, okay, double. So that will go. I mean, it should go for 1 year. If you can, if you know how to take care of clothes properly, then 2 3 years you can use the same dress and it will look new, you know. You should know how to wash them, you should know how to dry them, how to take care. That all, that is nobody knows. Put everything here there, and they don't know how to wear properly. So they need more clothes, and actually they don't need it just to have as a need, but they need to show off, right? So I have seen people who have like 200 pairs of dresses or 400 dresses, like so many. Even party wears they have. For every party they will buy new one, and some normal dress like some shirt. Even it's very difficult. Some 4,000 rupee shirt, 10,000 rupee jeans. Then you have to work hard. That is right. Because if somebody is not wearing 5,000 rupee shirt, that doesn't mean that he will not go back home back to God. Okay. He can wear normal shirt. Okay, put a good quality, good clothing, everything. And it's not like simply you have to be looking as a gentleman. That's also good. You should be looking very gentleman, neat and clean dress should be there. That's all fine. But we have to see, is it really required for us? So that's why when we have our priorities defined in a proper way, taking scriptures um, reference, then we can decide the priority and then work upward. Because my priority is Krishna's happiness, so I will work different way. If my priority is that I want to see my neighbors feeling jealousy about me, if that is my priority, then I have to work more, no? Because he is already working more. So every time I have to show that I am better than him. So I have to keep working, you know. So if I have 2-story building, and then after 5 years neighbor got 3-story, then again I have to work so that I can make 2 more, so that I become 4-story building wala. And then I can again, from the 4th top floor, I can look at him like this, hey, you are a small fellow, like that. So if those kind of desires and priorities are there, then one has to work day and night. Priorities has to be decided properly. Okay, so we will have more sessions on that also, like how to have priorities in life. So Prabhupada is saying this is not Grasta life, and this is demoniac life. The Krishna consciousness movement, however, with its centers all over the world, gives such fallen and condemned persons an opportunity to hear about Krishna. So these people, these fully busy people, they don't have any opportunity to hear about Krishna. So ISKCON is providing that facility, mercy. So we should take that facility wherever there is facility of hearing Krishna Katha. Okay. In a dream, we form a society of friendship and love. Somebody shared this already in our book. In a dream, we form a society of friendship and love. And when we awaken, we see that it has ceased to exist. Similarly, one's gross society, family, and love are also a dream, and this dream will be over as soon as one dies. Therefore, whether one is dreaming in a subtle way or a gross way, these dreams are all false and temporary. One's real business is to understand that one is soul, aham brahmasmi, and that is his activities should therefore be different, then one can be happy. So I was talking about priorities, na? So priorities again depends on our identity, because if I know properly my identity, then I will decide my priorities properly. Because if I think I am a student, then my priorities are different. If I think I am a householder, then my priorities are different. And if I think I am body, then priorities. I am human, then again my priorities are different. And if I understand that I am soul, which is our original identity, and all other coverings, but this is I am eternal soul. I am part and parcel of Krishna, and this is the most really Prabhupada lectures, books everywhere. This is the one point which Prabhupada always so much emphasize on this thing. I am not body, I am soul. So once I understand that that's my real identity, then I know what my priority is. So if I am soul, my priority is to serve Krishna. But if I am husband, my priority is to have enjoyment with my wife and children. Right? So I have to know whether I am husband or I am soul. I have to know. I'm whether if I am man, then automatically if my identity is that I am a man, Indian man, my priorities get changed. India, my first priority is my nation. Change, immediately change. So we have to look at the identity part. This is called identity crisis. Right? That's why मैं कौन हूँ? Who am I? First question. I discover yourself. Who am I? Okay, that is very important. Who am I? Because if you know, like if you are an employee but you think you are a manager, then you will create problem in the office. Because you think I am manager, but actually you are not, right? So you will create disturbance in the society, in the company, right? And if you think wrong, any identity, if you think wrong, you are going to you are thinking you are with respect to your family, you forget that you are their husband or like that, whatever. What you'll do? You'll create problem, right? Some people who are too much addicted to drugs and all, they forget their identity, that as a family member. So what happens? They stop doing responsible things for family. So there is a problem in the family then, right? So that's what Prabhupada is saying, that we have to understand what is our real priorities. Okay, our priorities, our identity. If we know what is our identity, then accordingly we decide priorities in a proper way. Okay. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na sochati na kanchati sama sarveshu bhutesu mad bhakti labdhe para. One who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments He never laments or desires to have anything. Na sochati, na kamchati. If person understand transcendentally situated means he is in the he is situated in his proper relationship with Krishna. I am eternal servant of Krishna, right? So if he is transcendently situated, then he is already set in Brahman platform. He is experiencing the joy every day, the joy of having relationship with Krishna, right? When a person has a relationship with somebody, there is a joy in that relationship, right? So why there is joy? Because there is some kind of loving exchanges in between, right? So the same way Krishna is trying. Krishna is the Ananda Ghana. He is the ocean of bliss. So that Krishna is trying to establish relationship with me. So I have to see this, and I have to reciprocate. I have, so once this connection with Krishna is re-established, the relationship re-established, then I am experiencing that bliss of being a servant of Krishna. So that bliss, when I'm having, then I don't need any other thing. Now sochati na kamchati. I am not lamenting what I have lost, and I am not worrying what I will get. What happened in past, I am not lamenting. What will happen in future, I am not worrying. क्या होगा? अरे ये क्या हो गया? This is two things which is creating problem all the time. ये क्या हो गया? आगे क्या होगा? Present nobody knows. Whatever. So this is the thing. So a person who is transcendentally situated, he never laments or desires to have anything. He is samasarveshu bhutesu. He is equal to everyone. Okay, equally disposed toward all living entities, and in that state he attains pure devotional service. And okay, one who is engaged in devotional service can very easily be liberated from the dream of materialistic life. Okay, so this dream thing I have already explained earlier classes, so I am skipping, but generally you can understand like the way we are having. Yesterday also I was telling in some short. Long back I had explained in a very great detail. So dream after dream, when we are awake, we are not lamenting whatever is gone. And we know this, that everything was a dream. So same way, if a person, so same way whatever we have now is this is also like dream. This is gross dream, so it will be ended by at the time of death. Okay, so this thing will is nicely explained in the chapter of Chitraketu's sons when he comes back. Na, he said, "Arey, who are you?" And like that. Eh? He said, "Arey, you are my son." Whose son, Baba? They're saying Narad is saying this is your parents, mother, father. They were crying for you, so I brought you back. Please meet them. He's saying Naradji, which life they were my parents? Parents are saying, "Arey Baba, just now few minutes back you died and you are asking such questions." He said, "Few minutes? Arey, I lived many birth, many parents, many mothers. So which one are you?" So then only they realize actually I am crying for this fellow, and this fellow after death he has no connection with me. Then why I am crying? So then you get to get this realization that I should uh, work for self-realization. Right? So everything is like dream only. यावदर्थम् उपासीनो देहे गेहे च पंडितः विरक्तो रक्तवत्तत्र निर्लोके नरकाम्यसेत्. Yavat artham, as much as endeavor for one's livelihood as necessary. Upasina, earning. Dehe, in the body. Gehe, in family matters. Cha, also pandita, one who is learned. Virakta, not at all. Raktavat, as if very much attached. Tatra, in this. Nirloke, human society. Naratam, the human form of life. Nese, one should depict. While working to earn his livelihood as much as necessary to maintain body and soul together. One who is actually learned should live in human society unattached to family affairs, although externally appearing. Okay, one should not be attached. It's the point is not that okay, now I understood everything, now I leave my family, wife, children, everything and go. And what about wife? They will take care. they are not getting food and all. No, it's not like that. You do your duty, you bring every necessary thing for your family, but the point is attachment is the problem here. The problem is not to live in the family or to live in the jungle. Even person may get attachment to jungle. That is another. So he will, like Bharat Maharaj, when he got attached to Hiran, that deer. So the point is not being attached. Point is not whether you are living in home or in jungle, working in office or staying in temple. That's not the point. Point is, are you attached? A person who is living inside the temple, he may be attached to his sleeping area. Attachment is like that. One can be attached to anything. That's the horrible situation of this material world. Okay, I will tell you one story. Okay, so regarding this attachment, I will tell you one story. First, we will go to the purport of Sri Prabhupada. So, purport. This is the picture of ideal family life. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai about the goal of life, Ramananda Rai described it in different ways according to the recommendations of revealed scriptures. This is a very nice, wonderful conversation between Ramananda Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very wonderful. Okay. So, according to the recommendations of the revealed scripture, and finally, Sri Ramananda Rai explained that one may stay in his own position, whether as a Brahman, Shudra, a sannyasi, or whatever, but one must try to inquire about life's goal. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. The point is not that if I am working, I should go and I should leave everything and start living inside the temple. No, that's not the point. Or I am studying, I leave everything and go to somewhere else in jungle. No, that's not the point. Point is, whatever situation you are, position you are, in that position, you inquire about God, about Krishna. This is the point. Okay. So one can stay in his position. Okay. But the point is, one should always work about self-realization. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. So this is the proper utilization of the human form of life. When one misuses the gift of the human form by unnecessarily indulging in animal propensities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, and does not try to get out of the clutches of Maya, which subjects one to repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. One is again punished by being forced to descend to the lower species and undergo evolution according to the laws of nature. So actually, the human form of life is given for some higher purpose, which is self-realization, is re-establishing our lost relationship with Krishna. Okay, so that's the point. Okay, so that is the point here, that one should re-establish our connection with Krishna. Okay, so for that one should work well, despite of being situated in many different positions, but one should work according to the situation. Okay, so Prabhupada is saying that this the point is here that human form of life is given for a higher cause, and if I'm not using, then better you take animal life. Suppose sometime you have given a gift to some friend,